2019. In our lead stories, nationally, St. Kitts Nevis debt to GDP ratio 55.5% as of June 2019. And CID building relationships with communities and schools in Barstow. Regionally, reggae star Sean Paul awarded by Jamaican government for his contribution to music. Internationally, Erdogan threatens to resume assault when ceasefire ends. And in sports, India wraps up series whitewash over South Africa. We'll have the details of these and other stories after this message.
Different from how you've seen it before.
Another look.
Takes an in-depth look into business, politics, science, technology, religion, and more.
Another look.
Featuring documentaries from the BBC, regional features, and local ones too.
Another look.
Every Monday at 3 p.m. on the Eastern Caribbean's powerhouse, Vaughan.
Welcome back, and now the national news in detail.
I am pleased to inform you that as of June 2019, St. Kitts and Nevis's debt to GDP ratio stood at 55.5%. This is according to data from the Ministry of Finance. Remarkably, this is a 35% improvement over June 2014, when our debt to GDP ratio was 85% according to the Ministry of Finance.
That's Acting Prime Minister the Honorable Sean Richards. He was speaking on the occasion of the St. Kitts Nevis Chamber of Industry and Commerce's CIC annual private sector banquet, which was held at the St. Kitts Marriott Resort on Saturday, October 19th. The debt to GDP ratio is the ratio between a country's government debt and its gross domestic product GDP. He asserted that the Team Unity administration has put the people of St. Kitts and Nevis first by arresting the fall in living standards and reversing the decline of our economy.
Our approach has brought our country together and shown the power of togetherness. It's an approach I hope can be taken globally as well. We are healing the wounds that have divided the people of our twin islands. Our resolve is to build lasting bridges of cooperation and partnership between both of our islands. We have achieved this by pursuing a roadmap to bring equity, fairness, and development to the people of St. Kitts and Nevis.
Acting Prime Minister the Honorable Sean Richards. The Criminal Investigation Department CID of the Royal St. Christopher and Nevis Police Force RSCNPF is fostering relationships with various schools and communities in Barstow area as part of the department's mandate to increase its community engagement efforts. The CID is responsible for investigating all robberies, home invasions, larcenies, fraud, and other felonies. Detectives from the department have been visiting Greenlands in St. Kitts to get to know the persons who live in the area and to introduce themselves. The officers also distribute crime tips and share information with residents on how to better secure their premises. The team has also included the Taylors Village and Bird Rock areas in their outreach plans for the final quarter of the year. The department is including schools, and officers have thus far visited the Barstow High School to speak with students about self-discipline earlier this month. Barstow High School was the first school to participate in this initiative, but the department has made arrangements with the Washington Archibald High School, the Advanced Vocational and Educational Center, AVEC, and several other primary schools in Barstow. In an update to the nation about the Haitians that were found in the Bird Rock area in St. Kitts on Sunday, October 20th, police say immigrants are being processed by the Immigration Department. According to a police communique, lawmen responded to a report sometime after 6 p.m. on Sunday that a group of persons had been found in a Birdrock area claiming that their boat had capsized. 15 nationals of Haiti, 13 men and 2 women, were taken into custody as a result. Subsequently, police delivered the persons and their documents over to the Immigration Department on Monday, October 21st. Head of the Immigration Department, Marston Hughes, disclosed that each individual would receive a medical checkup. The immigration head stated that while her department is leading the investigation into this matter, they would also be working closely with the police force and the St. Kitts Nevis Coast Guard. Persons with information regarding this matter are asked to call the Immigration Department at 465-8470 or the crime hotline at 707. A man wanted by police on St. Kitts has been caught. A release from the Royal St. Christopher and Nevis Police Force indicates that Michael Mickey Davis of Molyneux, Newtown, has been taken into police custody. A wanted person bulletin was issued by the force on Friday, 11th October, for the whereabouts of the 29-year-old. According to the release issued last week, Davis was being sought in connection for a series of break-ins. The Team Unity administration remains committed towards educating the Federation of St. Kitts and Nevis as it continues to ensure that students and teachers benefit from increased assistance and opportunities. According to a report from Minister with Responsibility for Education, the Honorable Sean Richards, at least 300 citizens are receiving support to pursue studies around the world, the largest number on record. He was speaking at the recent St. Kitts Nevis Chamber of Industry and Commerce's CIC annual private sector banquet held at the St. Kitts Marriott Resort on Saturday, October 19, 2019. He expressed that the government is committed to ensuring that teachers are properly trained in order to unlock the full potential of students, adding that the administration recently invested in 50 teachers to engage in a master's program of study in education leadership and other areas of engagement in collaboration with the University of the West Indies. On the early childhood front, Minister Richards explained that the Team Unity administration's investment in the education sector has seen each child in our public early childhood centers receiving $25 weekly as a subvention. The vast majority of private early childhood centers are also benefiting from this subvention, with parents paying the balance of the amount charged for childcare and preschool education services. The St. Kitts Nevis Bar Association is gearing up to host its annual Law Week here in the Federation. The week-long observance will run from Saturday 16 November to Saturday 23 November 2019. The week will be held under the theme Innovation, Imagination and the Law. Chairperson of the association, Ms. Taliba Byron, spoke to the VON Newsline. Why is it of such importance to have this observance?
The Bar Association has decided to hold Law Week in order to fulfill what we believe are certain responsibilities, social responsibilities that we have. Firstly, to educate the public on topical areas of interest, to promote awareness of the role that lawyers can play and do play in the betterment of our society. And one of the other important aims that we have in Law Week is to give back to our communities and to try to make a difference to the communities that raised us and taught us and where we still work and live. And lastly, we want to strengthen relations between ourselves as lawyers and members of the general public. And we think in so doing we can improve public trust and confidence in our profession and by extension in the justice system as a whole.
Ms. Byron further outlined amongst other 3 of the activities that will be held to raise continued awareness of the law here in the Twin Island Nation.
We have a national high school debating competition. It's the second year that we're doing it in a row. This year it's called the Advocates of Tomorrow High School Debating Competition. And then we have a public lecture that is going to be delivered by one of our resident judges, that is His Lordship Justice Eddie Ventos. That topic that he's going to be doing on Thursday the 21st of November, it's called Creators, Carnival and Copyright Infringement. Time to Face the Music. So it's going to be at the UWI Open Campus at 6 p.m. and it's absolutely free of cost. We also want to let the public know that we are going to be having free legal advice clinics in St. Kitts and in Nevis. It's going to be in Nevis on Friday, the 22nd of November, the Red Cross building in Charlestown. St. Kitts is the Newtown Community Center.
Chairperson of the St. Kitts Nevis Bar Association, Taliba Byron. And finally, Speaker of the National Assembly, the Honorable A. Michael Perkins, recently returned to the Federation, having led an official delegation to the Republic of China, Taiwan, from October 8th to the 12th. Speaker Perkins was invited by the government of the Republic of China, Taiwan, to participate in their 108th National Day, which was observed on October 10th, and is commonly referred to as the Double 10 in Taiwan. His delegation consisted of his wife, Mrs. Linda Perkins, and 2 parliamentary counsels from the Office of the Attorney General, Ms. Alison Isaac and Ms. Karen Hughes. The delegation met with the President of Taiwan, Her Excellency Tsai Ing-wen. He also met with President of the Legislature, His Excellency Jia Chiang-sung, as well as Minister of Foreign Affairs, the Honorable Dr. Jashe Joseph Wu, also along with other officials of the government of Taiwan. In a letter to the Ambassador of the Republic of China, Taiwan, to St. Kitts Nevis, His Excellency Tom Lee, on his return to the Federation, Speaker Perkins thanked all those who worked so hard to make the visit the absolute success that it was. The delegation was supported throughout the visit by St. Kitts and Nevis' Ambassador to Taiwan, Her Excellency Jasmine Huggins. That's the national news segment. You can visit our website at www.vonradio.com and check us out on Facebook at Von Radio or our Von Radio YouTube channel for these and other stories. News from across the region is next.
Life can be more fulfilling when we take the time out to smell the roses. And that's why your friends and family at the Bank of Nevis are experts at picking the flowers that best describe you. Whether you're planning to treat yourself after a long work week or finally getting around to that closet update, you deserve all the special things that life has to offer. And the Bond Visa card is here to help you achieve it. With just a swipe, you can turn a last-minute lunch date with friends and family into something worth remembering, with memories that will last a lifetime. Pampering yourself just got a whole lot easier. And after all, you deserve every refreshing moment of it. The ability to make your travel arrangements at your own convenience, whether by sea or by air, now rests within the palm of your hand. With a single swipe, the Bond Visa card can put a world of difference between life and truly living. Whereas the only limit you may have is your own imagination. Apply today. The Bank of Nevis Limited, improving the quality of life.
Welcome back. Another regional news in detail. Jamaican reggae and dancehall star Sean Paul, born Sean Paul Ryan Francis Enriquez, has received a national award from his home country. The singer, rapper and record producer was on Monday, October 21st, awarded by the Prime Minister of Jamaica for his contribution in popularity and promotion of reggae music. The Grammy Award-winning artist received the Order of Distinction Award, which is the 6th highest award recognized in the country. Enough respect to all fellow awardees today. National Heroes Day, Jamaican National Awards. Very proud to be honored by my country, Sean Paul said on his Twitter. Out of Venezuela. Motorists in socialist Venezuela have long enjoyed the world's cheapest gasoline, with fuel so heavily subsidized that a full tank these days costs a tiny fraction of a U.S. penny. But the economy is in such shambles that drivers are now paying for full-ups with a little food a candy bar, or just a cigarette. Bartering at the pump has taken off as hyperinflation makes Venezuela's paper currency, the bolivar, hard to find and renders some denominations all but worthless so that nobody will accept them. Without cash in their wallets, drivers often hand gas station attendants a bag of rice, cooking oil, or whatever is within reach. Gas is so dirt cheap that station attendants don't even know the price. Empty-handed drivers get waved through, paying nothing at all. This barter system, while perhaps the envy of cash-strapped drivers outside the country, is just another symptom of bedlam in Venezuela. The South American nation of roughly 30 million people is gripped by a deepening political and economic crisis. People live with a nagging feeling that anything from violent street protests to a massive power failure could throw their lives into chaos at any moment. Out of Barbados. Parents of the 11-year-old boy killed by 3 former Princess Margaret secondary school students want the full extent of the law to be visited on their son's killers. This was revealed when convicted manslayers Maria Antoinette Goddard, Donico Javier Elaine, and Shaquille Shamar Khalil Bradshaw returned to the No. 2 Supreme Court on Friday. Goddard, then 12, now 22, of Parish Land, Elaine, also then 12, of Balls Land, and Bradshaw, then 14, now 24, also of Balls Land, Christchurch, were found guilty earlier this year of unlawfully killing manslaughter Ian James Gibson on September 20, 2009. Principal Crown Counsel Aliston Seal prosecuted the matter. Attorney Angela Mitchell Gittins represented Elaine and Goddard, and attorney Arthur Holder appealed for Bradshaw during the trial. And finally, out of Montserrat. Montserrat's Premier Honorable Donaldson Romeo has requested that the C24 and 4th Committees of the United Nations, UN, work in collaboration with the United Kingdom and the government of Montserrat to establish a framework, a timeline, and an action program for the full decolonization of Montserrat. He made the request on Thursday, October 10th, during the presentation at the UN General Assembly's 4th Committee in New York. During his address, Premier Romeo highlighted the development challenges facing the people of Montserrat following the onset of the volcanic crisis in 1995. These challenges include loss of life, destruction of key infrastructure, businesses and homes, the mass migration of Montserratians, and the ongoing struggle to retain key workers. He noted that the issues Montserrat faced are well known by Her Majesty's government from many studies and consultancies, but, he said, little positive action has been taken. And that's it for the regional stories. Stay with us for news from around the world. Welcome back, and now the international news in detail. Turkey's president has threatened to resume an offensive in northeast Syria unless Kurdish fighters withdraw from the border before a ceasefire ends. Up to 1,300 People's Protection Units, YPG militia members, still had to pull back before Tuesday, Recep Tayyip Erdogan warned. Turkish troops and allied Syrian rebels attacked on 9th October to set up a 32-kilometer deep safe zone in Syria. The BBC's Sarah Rainsford reports.
First and foremost, of course, they'll be focusing on that ceasefire that was brokered by the US and has been in place now for 5 days. It's due to expire this evening. Turkey has said that not all Kurdish militias have withdrawn from the area, so that ceasefire being extended is not a done deal yet, and that, of course, will be the first thing on the table. But then beyond that, there's the question of Turkey's ambitions and desires for what it calls a safe zone in a much larger area of the border zone between Turkey and Syria.
South Africa's embattled state power firm Eskom is taking legal action to reclaim $14 million from multinational consultancy Deloitte, accusing it of being awarded contracts improperly. Eskom said Deloitte charged 5 times more than its competitors for work undertaken in 2016. South Africa has been hit by a series of power cuts as Eskom battles to meet growing electricity demands. The BBC's Andrew Harding reports.
South Africa's state power utility says Deloitte charged 5 times more than its competitors for work done back in 2016. Deloitte insists it did nothing wrong and will fight the claim in court. But it's not the first giant multinational company to get caught up in South Africa's state capture scandal. They've denied wrongdoing, but several have already paid money back.
Justin Trudeau's Liberal Party has retained power in a narrow Canadian election win, but he will now be Prime Minister of a minority government. The Liberals are projected to win 157 seats, 13 short of a majority, and will find it harder to pass legislation in Mr. Trudeau's second term. The opposition Conservatives are expected to win the popular vote, but have not translated that into seats. They are projected to take 121, up from the 95 they held before. Although Monday night's results saw a sharp decline in seats for the country's left-leading New Democratic Party, NDP, its leader, Jagmeet Singh, could become the kingmaker. The NDP is projected to take 24 seats in the 338-seat parliament. And finally, the government will abandon its Brexit bill if MPs vote down its 3-day timetable to get it through Parliament. Boris Johnson told MPs if the programme was rejected and the EU confirmed a delay to the 31st October exit, he would instead push for a general election. The PM said Parliament had been caught in a deadlock of its own making, and he would in no way allow months more of this. The BBC's Rob Watson reports.
It may be that MPs don't like doing it in super quick time. It means that Mr. Johnson can't leave on the 31st of October, but that there's only a sort of a short technical delay while MPs require more time. The other possibility, though, is that if you do give it more time and that the process of scrutiny goes on for a few days, weeks, whatever, then actually the whole majority for it just falls to bits and we end up with a general election.
That brings us to the end of our news segments. The latest in sports is next.
Let TDC Financial Services help you go for your goals. Whether you're thinking of taking that grand vacation, down payment on a house, higher education, TDC Financial Services has various plans that will allow you to go for your goals. Choose from the Accumulator Plus, Investment Starter Plan, and Fixed Deposit. Ready to go for your goals? Visit us at TDC Financial Services, where money is made easy.
Welcome back. Another sports in detail. In cricket, India took the final 2 South Africa wickets in consecutive balls to win the third test by an innings and 202 runs and secure a 3-0 series whitewash. The Proteas added only 1 run to the overnight total and survived just 2 overs on day 4 in Ranchi before falling to 133 all out. Debutant spinner Shahbaz Nadeem removed Thiers de Bruin and Langi Ngidi with the final 2 balls of his first over. India secured a record 11th straight home test win in the second test. World number 1 test side India has also extended their lead at the top of the ICC World Test Championship, having won all 5 of their matches across 2 series to claim the maximum 240 points. New Zealand and Sri Lanka are next on 60 points. summarized score. India 497 for 9 declared. South Africa 162 and 133. India won by an innings and 202 runs. In football, 3 Chelsea fans face bans for racially abusing a fellow supporter at the Europa League game in April. Jerome Bailey, 20, said he was subjected to slurs about his skin and hair during a tie at Slavia Prague. He was also disappointed it took the club 6 months to contact him after providing names and seat numbers of the alleged perpetrators. Chelsea has suspended the fans and has written to Bailey apologizing for the delay. The supporters could be banned for life, although the lengths of their suspensions have yet to be determined. Chelsea said it took time to identify the alleged abusers, but accepted they could have made contact sooner. In cricket, the Bangladesh Cricket Board has accused players of a conspiracy to destabilize cricket in the country by going on strike. Leading players, including Test captain Shabib Al Hassan, announced on Monday they will not take part in any cricket activity until 11 demands are met. They are calling for better pay, improved facilities and changes to domestic one-day tournaments. The BCB criticized the players after an emergency directors meeting on Tuesday. Bangladesh's 2-match test tour of India in November is under threat if the dispute cannot be solved in time. The strike action also includes the ongoing National Cricket League First Class tournament, with the next round of matches due to start on Thursday. The players are demanding the salaries in first class cricket are raised to 100,000 Bangladeshi taka per match, an increase of about 300% amongst others. The International Players Union FICA released a statement on Tuesday in support of the striking players. And finally, in the NFL, Cleveland Browns wide receiver Odell Beckham Jr. has criticized a ridiculous NFL fine after it was ruled his pants failed to cover the knee area during a game. The 26-year-old has been fined $14,037 for the uniform violation in the Cleveland's 32-28 defeat by the Seattle Seahawks on 13 October. NFL rules state pants must be worn over the entire knee area. The NFL says uniform rules help to protect players from injury, maintain competitive balance, create a professional appearance, and protect the league's business partnerships. Pants shortened or rolled up to meet the stockings above the knee are prohibited. Beckham Jr. can appeal against the fine, the 13th of his career. He was fined the same amount earlier in October for his unsportsmanlike conduct in an on-field fight with Baltimore Ravens cornerback Marlon Humphrey. In 2016, he was fined $18,231 for a uniform violation. And that's it for sports. General weather forecast is next. Welcome back, and now the local weather forecast for St. Kitts and Nevis. There will be decreasing cloudiness tonight with only a 20% or slight chance of a brief shower. There will be partly sunny skies tomorrow with periods of increased cloudiness and a 50% or moderate chance of showers mainly in the morning. Winds are east at 11 to 22 kilometers per hour or 6 to 12 knots with lighter spells overnight. Seas are 1 to 1.5 meters or 3 to 5 feet. Sunrise tomorrow will be at 6:06 a.m. And that's a wrap up the major news package for today, Tuesday, 22nd October 2019. Before we go, let's take a look at the headlines once again. Nationally, St. Kitts Nevis debt to GDP ratio 55.5% as of June 2019. And CID building relationships with communities and schools in Barstier. Regionally, megastar Sean Paul awarded by Jamaican government for his contribution to music. Internationally, Erdogan threatens to resume assault when ceasefire ends. And in sports, India wraps up series whitewash over South Africa. On behalf of the rest of the news team, I am Tashan Tyson, wishing you a pleasant evening.
vibrates.